All right, so reading graphs here. X-axis, we have time. Y-axis, we have distance from home. So let's break this into three sections. Section A, Section B, and Section C. So first up in Section A, notice both time, so X, and distance are increasing. So we could just say walking away from your house. All right, now, Section B. Time is increasing here for pretty long. Like Section B, there's a pretty long piece of line there. So your time is increasing. X keeps moving here, but your distance doesn't. So you stop somewhere. Maybe you stopped at a restaurant to eat, whatever, sitting on a bench, I don't know, whatever the situation is. B, let's just say you stopped for lunch. It could be anything. Just again, All right, and then C, you walked home. Again, in section C there, your distance from home is decreasing. Time is still increasing. Time is always increasing here. All right, so part B then, an airplane takes off, flies at a constant rate for several hours, and then lands. Okay. So, starting from a standstill here, the plane, this is the speed, this is the time. At takeoff, it accelerates very quickly, and it flies at a constant rate. All right, and then the speed's got to slow down and then eventually just come to an end. Next up here, we got a graph. We got to do domain and range. So my domain, I'm going from -3 to 2. Again, that's -3. -1 over here, and this is 2, -4. So for my x's, I'm going from -3 to +2. And for my range, I'm going from -4 to -1. Make sure you always go least to greatest here. All right, so we got a set of ordered pairs here. Again, your set of ordered pairs is always a relation. You got to determine whether it's also a function. It says write two sets of ordered pairs that could be added so that it does not remain a function. So that just means we need x's to repeat. So 2, 8, 7, and 9 are your x's. So any ordered pair with 2, 8, 7, or 9. So I'm just going to say like 2, 5, and 8, -3. All right. There's endless possibilities for these pairs. It's just got to be either 2, 8, 7, or 9 with your x's there. Okay. This one, the a had to remain a function, so it had to be your x's had to be different from 2, 8, 7, or 9. All right, so write a rule in function notation for each situation. Identify the independent and dependent variables here. So Netflix costs $8.99 per month. So we could say f of m here equals 8.99m. Okay, your independent variable would be your number of months. Dependent would be your cost. For letter D there, ice cream costs $4.50. Toppings are 35 cents each. So you'd say f of t here, t for toppings. So again, your independent here is going to be the number of toppings you get. Your dependent is going to be your total cost. Evaluate each function for f of -1 and f of 2. So first up, let's do f of -1. So we should get -8 for the first one, and then f of 2. So -8 and -2. All right, so next up here, we got to make a graph. I'm just going to rearrange this and write as y equals x plus 2. That's going to be a little bit easier. Your xy table, you can really put any values you want in here for the table. I'm just going to go -1, 0, and 1. So that'd be 1, 2, and 3. So we got -1, 1, 0, 2, and then 1, 3. And there's our line. Again, these x values, you can pick anything you want. I would always pick, like -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, smaller numbers there. All right, so again, I'm going to give you these x values on the test, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, but we put -4 in here. -4 minus 1 is -5. So we're going to get -5 squared is 25. So I'm not going to be able to graph that one. Actually, let me do some different x values here. These ones will give us some smaller x values here. So if we put -2 in here, -2 minus 1 is -3. -3 squared is 9. -1, -1, and minus 1 is -2. -2 squared is 4. Then we should get 1, 0, 1, 4, and 9. All right, next up, what will the average reading speed be at 7 weeks? So here's 7 weeks. You read everything off that line of best fits. We go to 7. We go up. We're right here in between. So that's 300. That's 310. So if you want to say something like 305, that would be fine. Words per minute. So again, you're just finding 7 on the x-axis. You go up. We're right in between 300 and 310, so I would accept anything like 305, 306, 307, anything like that. All right, so Sean's starting salary is $32,000. How much will he earn after 3 years if he gets a yearly raise of $3,000? So this is going to end up being $32,000 plus $9,000. It's going to be $41,000. All right, next up here we got Toys R Us. online sells Legos for $30 per set with a $12 shipping fee. Write a function rule that represents this situation. So it's like x equals set of Legos. Should be 30x plus 12. If we purchase 25 sets, so f of 25, so 30 times 25 plus 12 is going to be 750 plus 12 for a total price of $762.